Hey all you guys out there, this is Derek Sigafoo coming at you with another announcement. This one is something that I'm incredibly excited about. I've been sitting on this idea for quite a while, and when kind of nothing happened after the Challenge Cup and I waited a little bit, I decided that I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the one who takes the initiative, and I have set up, and I'm incredibly excited to announce to you guys the creation of Recharged Gaming League, RGL.GG, a brand new gaming league coming to TF2. It feels so good to say this. I've been keeping this so close to my chest. I've been keeping this so under wraps that I'm so happy to be able to finally put it out into the public for you guys to know about it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what RGL.GG's league is all about. And so the league is going to be having the rule set based off of the Challenge Cup. Virtually, it's going to be very similar. And so what it'll be is going to be the league structure is going to be separated out into two different areas. So we're going to have the recreational area and the competitive area, because I found that when it comes to kind of paid competitive leagues, not everybody wants to have prize pool, big prize pools. Some people just want to go play the game and go have fun and not really have to worry about it as much or try to be the best. They just want to go and play with their friends. And so I wanted to provide two different opportunities to be able to do that. So we have the recreational, as I said, and the competitive side. The recreational area is going to be separated down to two different divisions. You're going to have the team league and then the solo queue league. So I want to make it as easy as possible and as cheap as possible for people to be able to jump into the league, to be able to play with their friends and to have a great time. And so the way that it works is that you will only have to pay $7 for the entire regular season, for the playoffs, all of it. $7 per player is what it'll cost to get yourself on a team. So you can get a team league together, you can get 7 friends, sign up, get registered, get all of that done. But we also have the solo queue league. And the great thing about the solo queue league is for the people who have always wanted to play competitive TF2, they didn't know where to start, they didn't know what to do. Now you know. All you have to do is you come to the site, you click sign up, you fill out a little information, you're in. That's it. We'll be assigning you to a team and to the best of our ability, and you'll be able to do this. And on top of all of this, for only $7 per person, we will be also giving you a server. I don't mean like, no, like we're giving you a server to play on during your matches. No, I mean like we are giving you a server to use for that entire span of about 2 months. So you'll be able to have a server to be able to scrim on, you'll have a server to practices, you'll have a server to do lobbies. All of that is yours when you sign up for the recreational league. Now when it comes to the competitive side, that's where it gets a little bit bigger. And I'm talking about $4,000 prize pool spread out between the two different divisions of the competitive side. It's going to be a high division and a low division. The high division, of course, is going to be for the best of the best, for the platinum, for the IM, for the invite players to play and to try to fight it out to win. Again, the minimum prize pool is $3,000. Depending on how many people we get signed up to the league, this very well might grow to be even larger. And so that's going to be an 8-week season plus playoffs on top of it. And then we're going to have the low division, which is going to be a minimum of $1,000 prize pool. The only difference with the prize pool when it comes to lower side is it'll probably be spread out a little bit thinner between the teams, so you get more rewarded. It's a little bit easier to kind of cash, but the top prize won't be as great as a top prize compared to in the high division. And so I'm incredibly excited about this. We have been partnered with XTV, so all of the games that we cast will be put on there, as well as putting the past games onto their channel. I'm incredibly excited about working with them and getting that out there and reviving that channel and bringing it back to its glory. To talk a little bit about the format, we're going to be playing the Pro Lander setup, as it is called, and it's going to be very simple, 7v7, one of each class, and we are also going to be having pick bans on top of it. Now, I have to say, I had some reservations about the format when I originally came up with the idea. You know, when I looked around at the different formats and what I liked and I didn't like, I was kind of curious, and so I created the Challenge Cup format kind of just to see what would happen. I honestly only played the format one time in a pickup game. We played like 2 or 3 maps, and all I realized was like, okay, this doesn't, like, my biggest concern is that it would be slow pace, it would be boring, but it wasn't that. Like, I have been casting TF2 for 2 to 3 years now, and those Challenge Cup games were the most exciting, fast-paced, interesting games that I have casted, hands down. There were, that grand final matchup of Froyotech on Badwater, where they're racing against the clock. phenomenal. It was so good. And then the final with the Koth map and the meta kit, it was good. I loved it. And that's exactly what we're going to try to do, is continue to build on that format, figure out what works, what doesn't work. And so it's going to be a pick ban format. We're going to do some adaptations from the original pick ban because we've listened to what the players said about the original Challenge Cup and we have learned from it. And so there are going to be a couple items which are going to be having a default ban. But besides that, it's going to be up to the players to be able to do the rest. And what that means is that every single game is going to be different. Every single game is going to be just that little bit of uniqueness, which I love. Honestly, one of my favorite parts about the Challenge Cup was not only the games, but when I was talking to a couple of the players afterwards and we were discussing why they banned and picked certain weapons and how it ultimately affected the game. And I just was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, this is so perfect. It really made me fall in love with TF2 again. And so I've kind of been laying low, not streaming, not doing anything, because I've been working on this behind the scenes, and I'm so happy to be able to share it with you guys. And I really want to create something great, because the biggest thing to me about this league as well is there's 3 different aims that I wanted to have when it came to this league. And one is about spirit of the game. I want to have spirit be really important to me, because to me, I don't want to rest on the laurels or the idea that just because other games have toxic communities and just because people are toxic online means that we should just accept toxicity as it is, and we should not care or try to better ourselves as a community because, well, people are always toxic. Who cares? When the ugliest voice of your community is also the loudest, you have failed as a community. And I want to create a community that has a healthy balance between community and being competitive. That's really important to me because I don't believe they have to be mutually exclusive. I'm a big fan of Ultimate Frisbee, and they have an amazing experience. Every Ultimate person, it really is like the root level. Just such amazing people playing the game, and it's so different than any other sport that I played. And I realized, let's try that. Let's try putting that into a gaming league. And that's something really important to me along those lines. The other things that are important to me is the meta. I get really tired when I play other games as well as TF2 when everybody is so strict. The meta. Like, everything has to be played exactly the same way. And if you do not use exactly these characters or exactly these weapons that make up the meta, then you are wrong. But things change because people try things that are different. That is important to understand. If someone runs Sniper full time and it's successful, that's not BM. That's just success. There's no end around it. Like, doing something successfully is just that. And maybe it fails 90% of the time, and you have to understand that. But something that I think is important is to understand that we need to allow players to be able to develop their own meta and not chastise it. And also understand that at the very highest levels might be a different meta that exists in the lowest levels. And maybe something works in competitive low that doesn't work in competitive high, and that's okay. Like, just because something's a little bit of a gimmicky kind of a feel, if it's successful, that's all that ultimately matters. And players, of course, need to be honest with themselves and being able to judge whether or not something is successful or not. Things change because people take chances, and people take chances because they feel like they can. If we live in a community where everybody who tries something new, who tries to run a pyro full time, and they get hated on for it, I feel like we need to be able to allow people to be able to do that. And the third thing that's important to me is adminning. I want to make sure and just put it out there that, as the league runner, I'm human. I'm not perfect. Things are going to be wrong. I'm going to get decisions wrong. But the thing that I really want to hold true is that we make decisions based on reason, not reaction. I want to have an adminning team that is respected because of how they do, not because they demand it. We are going to do our best to create as good of an experience as we can for the league, but to be honest, we can't be perfect. And some of this also comes down to the players needing to, again, have that positivity, to have that good spirit, because self-refereeing is a great way to create a positive experience for everybody. But for things that do fall into our laps, we are going to do our absolute best that we can, but sometimes our best won't be good enough. But we'll try to own up to those situations, we'll try to make them better, and we'll try to learn from that so we don't have to repeat it again. So I hope all of this sounds fun and interesting, guys. Thank you so much for your interest, and if you've watched all of this, that's amazing. So go check it out, rgl.gg right now. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, feel free to toss me a message on Steam or connect to our public Discord and be able to talk to me through that. I am open ears. Really, any website errors, please. This is a brand new site. Things might be going wrong. I'm going to be watching it like a hawk, literally refreshing the error checker. And please let me know. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. I love you so much. And I hope to see you soon on June when this league is going to be starting up. We're going to be casting on here on XTV as well as putting the past broadcasts onto this channel. And I'll see you guys soon.